Describe more about the keys and like how you actually discovered the keys. Like, why are they what they are? AKA feeling clear, affirm, cure. Like for me, when I first started talking about or learning about the keys, I'm like, how is this not a form of bypassing? Like, how am
Right.
I not bypassing my
Okay,
emotions?
so let's use the example of a keyboard for a computer, right? That when you hit a keystroke on the computer, it starts a macro, it starts a program, right? So it could be enter or it could be delete or it could be whatever, but it starts a program. Well, we use these keys or key phrases and we name them to associate with the kind of issue you're dealing with. You talked about affirm clear. So you
Mm-hmm.
state a positive and you hit affirm clear. That does start that mantra meditation in a way that affirms whatever the statement is that you made. It's a keystroke on a keyboard. You know, I was thinking earlier that we have the greatest computer ever created on top of our heads and no instruction manual.
Mm.
And, you know, if you can imagine going through life with such an incredible tool and not knowing how to use it, it's no wonder that people are in misery or desperation or despair. And so we've begun a process of identifying how the mind works and how to make it do what you want it to do. Look, you said you're a reformed perfectionist. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a reformed control freak, except I'm not that reformed. Okay. I've just found a way to do it that is effective and not counterintuitive.
Right. And control, I mean, I would say as a perfectionist, that's a form of control, right? And so I feel like they're one and the same. I don't know if you differentiate them.
No, no, no. It's the same impulse.
Right. But do you find yourself feeling like you're still controlling through the lens of this process? Like, how do you break that binary?
I'll show you how. That what I've discovered through this work is that we already have control and we
Mm,
just don't know it. That when you try to consciously control, it's almost like you're duplicating services. You're fighting against yourself because there's
mm,
already an intention here. There's already a through line. You've already got the map for what you want to do and what you want to create. And when you start doing this work, you increasingly start to trust that inner plan that you actually have. And so you stop consciously trying to control or micromanage and you start allowing it. So I would say the difference is between forcing or allowing, right?
mm-hmm,
They both add up to you trying to assert your influence over the moment. But
mm-hmm.
one is more aligned with your actual intentions and with the way things work.
Right. Yeah, it's flow versus force. It's being open and receptive versus clinging and reaching, which I feel like, yeah, through these different modalities, I still was clinging to these modalities and outsourcing my power to these modalities and healers and tools, thinking that they were going to heal me. But Paradox Process helped me unlock something within. And now I'm in this stage where I love how I read something on your site, or maybe it was on Instagram, and it was you refer to Paradox Process as a tool that helps you or move through crisis to creation, or like most people approach it, they're like within a crisis period, which I feel like went to Paradox Process and I was like, help, I've tried a kind of everything and I'm spinning it within myself. But now I'm in this full blown creation period. And I feel like you talk so much about manifestation. And I
Yeah.
actually want to get into that. This is a very buzzy topic right now, but I feel like you ground it in a really just digestible way. What is your perspective on manifestation in regards to the paradox process?
Well, here's the thing. And by the way, you know, people come for the crisis, they stay for the creation, right?
Yeah.
Because the reality is we're always manifesting, we're always creating. We're not always in control of it. We're not always paying attention to how we're creating, but we're always making choices. And so, what's interesting to me, you know, there's three elements of manifestation, and none of it is woo woo, by the way. The three elements are intention, okay, being consciously aware of what it is you want to create, burning desire, building the excitement, the visualization, the empowering of the thing itself, and personal power, taking your power back from the things you've given it away to, and attending to detail in a way that you create what you want. So it's a very logical process of creating. And when you put all of that into your little biocomputer, then you start to make 1,000 different choices and micro choices based on what it is you want. And you start to shape the reality that you want to see show up. So it's not woo-woo at all. If you could slow the thing down, you would see every decision being made in order to render what it is that you want to create.
Are you familiar with human design?
I've heard about it. I've only have a glancing understanding of it.
We'll have to give you your human design chart, or I'll have to do a little overview with you, because that is a process that, or it's like a science meets spiritual system that is quote unquote the guidebook, or like kind of like our operating system. Like it has these guides that help you move through life. It's different than it's very different than paradox process. I mean, it's more robust, and I feel like paradox process is a tool that you can kind of unlock wherever you are. And I feel like I use it on my walks outside. Like I feel like it's something that I always have in my toolkit. I even use it journaling now as well.
Yeah.
Repeating via journaling. But yeah, it's really it's been an incredible journey.
Yeah, one of the ways I've been describing it lately is that it's a tool, a way, and a path, right? It's a tool that allows you to interact with your feelings and emotions and change them on the spot. It's a way to get out of what you were involved in and to see in a different way. And it's a path to getting everything that you want. We're capable of creating anything and everything that we want. And we're always doing it. We're just not always conscious of it.
When did you have the moment that, oh, this shit really works? Like, did you have a personal, because I walked into Andrea's office after about five sessions, and I was like, this shit really works. And she was like, we should put that on a t-shirt because everyone says that. When did you
They
have
really
that
do.
moment? When did you have that moment, or do you have a story that you can share?
Yeah, sure. When I was growing up, I had a father who was a soldier and treated us like the military. There wasn't a lot of warmth. There wasn't a lot of affection. There was a lot of criticism and a lot of discipline. It was a painful upbringing. And I left that house at 16, assured that there was no love there. You know, you're just going to have to do without. When we discovered this process, I was looking for issues that I thought were really impossible to break through. And I thought, well, believing that my father would love me, that's an impossible issue. And so I started working on that. And in the middle of that mantra meditation, accept the unacceptable, I saw with an absolute certainty, it wasn't even thinking this, it was a knowing that he absolutely loved us. He just didn't know how. He had no tools. And it was a stunning realization that changed my life. And that's when I thought, this shit really works. It was really a revelation for me.